Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today is Saturday, September 18, 2012. I'm speaking with Mr. Amitabha Chatterjee. This interview is being conducted in New Jersey. Mr. Chatterjee, what was your desh? What is your desh?
I was born in Dhaka, which is now Bangladesh.
Where in Dhaka?
In Dhaka, it's a place called Armanitola.
Oh, in the
In
Dhaka
Dhaka
city,
itself,
city.
yes,
Yeah.
in the city itself.
Okay, so did your family used to live there?
Yeah, my dad and my mom,
Okay.
and I have three sisters.
So-
Used to live. No, two sisters were born there, and the third sister was born in Kolkata.
Okay, so they used to live. Do you know how long did they live there?
My father was from Bikrampur
Okay.
in Dhaka,
Okay.
and then he was a reporter with a newspaper, the
Okay.
Hindustan Standard,
Okay.
and he was stationed in Dhaka.
So did you rent the house, or you owned it?
He rented the house.
Rented.
There's a
So
rented
have
house.
you visited your ancestral village?
After we came here?
No, but when you
Yes,
lived there?
yeah. When I was, you mean in Bikrampur?
Bikrampur.
Yes,
Did you used to go there?
I used to go there, and I have very little memory of the village itself, because when I left Dhaka, I was about 7 or 8 years old.
Okay.
So I really don't remember
So
much
how
about
was the
Bikrampur.
house like? Do you remember in Armanitola?
Armanitola was good. You know, it was what I remember. The neighbors were good, and we used to get along with almost everybody.
Was it a Hindu neighborhood or mixed
It
neighborhood?
was a mixed neighborhood,
Okay.
and I think mostly were Hindus.
Okay.
And there was a jomidar. They used to call a jomidar. Used to live in the corner house.
Okay.
It was a big
Big house?
house
Okay.
there, and my recollection was we used to play with the neighborhood kids,
Yeah.
and we had really good time until 1947 when India was partitioned.
So what happened there? Do you remember?
Okay. What I remember that there was riot, and we were not allowed to go outside,
Really?
and we used to hear from our home, Allahu Akbar,
Okay.
and from this side were my
Hindus.
my
From
Hindus, my uncles and
Yeah.
all. They used to say Bande Mataram,
Okay.
and all. That's all I remember.
Okay. But were there any casualty, anybody victimized in your family?
No, not in my family. That was back in 1947,
Okay.
when India was partitioned, and many Hindus left
Okay.
Dhaka for Kolkata or India.
Yeah.
And my father at that time decided not to leave,
Okay.
because he said, I was born here, it's my country, I will be here.
Okay.
So there was a riot almost every year, but in 1950 there was a big riot.
Big killing.
Big killing.
One-sided. I mean,
It was almost one-sided.
Yeah.
There were, and I remember, in my neighborhood, people were jumping, especially the ladies, jumping from the third floor because they were attacked by the Muslims,
Oh.
and they jumped and they died, and
Oh my gosh.
and we were not
You
allowed to
saw
go
for
outside.
yourself?
I remember a couple of incidents.
Oh my God.
They jumped.
they came to
from-
attack those ladies or take
the
them
ladies
away?
and the whole house,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to ransack the whole
Yeah,
house and all. And the part that is most interesting is that our neighbor was a Muslim neighbor, and they told my mom and dad is that to go to their house at night and stay there at night, and asked my mother to take the sindoor.
Okay.
So we went there and we stayed with them.
So how many days?
Yeah, I don't remember how many
But
days,
yeah,
but many days. And I remember that I heard from my mother is that the people came, the Muslims came, and they said, do you have any Hindus living in your house
to
to
come
our
and
neighbor?
ask?
And asked them, they said, no, we have relatives, they're staying with us, there are no Hindus. And so
So they protected you.
they protected us. And then after a few days, in that Jamindar's house, that became a refugee camp.
Oh.
So all the Hindus were taken there,
Okay.
and we used to live there
In that house? You
in
lived
that
there?
house, and it was
Who
like
used
a camp,
Yeah.
you know. So
Who used to feed you?
I don't know whether it was the government or the zamindar itself,
Okay.
and they used to cook khichuris and all, and to get food was everybody was fighting for food, you know, and
So you like that? How many days, for example, you
that I don't remember. I would think 7 days, 8 days, and then my father at that time and many others decided that we have to leave.
So did you go to school in Armanitola when you lived?
No, I didn't
You
go to
studied
school there.
no school at all?
I was homeschooling at that
Homeschooling.
time. Yeah.
And so when did how did they come to Calcutta from that kind of situation?
Okay, so I'm sure my father made all the arrangements.
yeah.
By the way, my father
What's the
could
name
not.
of your father?
Santosh Chandra Chattopadhyay.
And your mother?
And mother Nilima Chattopadhyay.
Was she father was a journalist, your mother?
My mother is a homemaker.
Okay.
Yeah. And my father was not allowed to leave Bangladesh because he was writing all the stories in the newspaper about the plight of the Hindus.
Yeah.
So he was under house arrest.
Oh,
So the government of
Pakistan government then?
Pakistan government put him under house arrest, so he could not leave.
Okay.
So he made arrangements for us to go to the airport and take a plane to come to come.
So that was in 1950?
That was in 1950.
All the family members came?
All the family, my mother, myself, my two sisters left, and we left with nothing. You know, what we with our clothes, and that's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
So who sheltered them in Calcutta?
Okay, in Calcutta, my mom's mother used to my Didima used to live there.
Okay.
So we in Sirampur.
Okay, so
Sirampur.
so you had a shelter there.
We had a shelter there,
there.
and we stayed there for I would say about 6 months or so.
Okay.
And I went to school there. That's the first time I went to school in Sirampur. And then my father came.
After how many years?
I think
months?
after 6 months or 9 months, something like that. And his name, my father's name, was taken up by Vidhan Chandra Rai
the
and
Chief
Nehru
Minister of
also,
West Bengal.
Chief Minister of West Bengal, and also Nehru,
Nehru.
to
Bring him. So
bring
he
him
got
there.
that political protection.
He was the politician.
Yeah, No,
so-
go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. So he could come, and
So-
that struggle, it was a struggle for us to really.
Did you get any help from India government
India
or
government.
anybody else?
I used to get those refugee scholarships,
So
in school. Yes,
So you enrolled as a refugee.
refugee as a refugee. Yes,
So and your sisters also went to school in
in North Kolkata.
Kolkata.
In North Kolkata. We
Now-
lived, so from 1950 we lived in Kolkata.
Have you ever gone back to?
No.
Nobody.
never went back.
Before,
No,
not your
nobody.
father. Do you know what happened to your Bikrampur and home state?
They're all gone. So there
How
was.
many generations they lived in Bikrampur?
It is a guess, probably 2 or 3 generations. It's a guess. Maybe more.
Maybe more. Okay. Because Bikrampur is a very famous, very old city.
Yes.
Very learned place of
Right.
writing.
Exactly.
Place of learning.
Learning.
So after you came to tell us your neighborhood first in Armanitola. Was it a big? You lived in a single family house or in an apartment?
It is a single. No, it is an apartment. It was divided into 2.
Okay.
So one family used to live on one side, and we used to live the other side.
The owner
There were
was Hindu?
two stories.
Do you know? No.
The owner, no, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't know.
So then you started your life in Calcutta.
In Calcutta.
How was there any difficulty in adjusting in Calcutta?
Of
Did you-
course, and we didn't know almost anybody.
Okay.
But most of the we stayed in Park Circus.
Okay.
My father's friend actually 2 or 3 friends, they got together and they rented a house in Calcutta and in Park Circus, and we moved there after my father, from Singapore. After my father came, and then he rented that house, and then he called us.
Okay.
So we stayed there.
So then you went to school?
We went to school in Park Circus.
Which school did you go to?
I went to Mitra Institution.
Mitra. And then you went, after that you went to
B College.
Bengal
Yes.
Engineering College.
Bengal Engineering
And you
College.
became an engineer.
Yes.
And so when did you come here? Into this
I
in
came to this country in 1967 as a student. Yeah.
As a student?
Yes.
You did study here?
I studied here. I did my master's here.
Where did you study?
I structural engineering
In
in Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah.
okay. Oh, Utah.
In Utah, right.
Brigham Young. Okay.
Brigham Young.
Now, the life in Calcutta, were you ever discriminated? Any chance because you're East Bengali?
I don't think so. There was always a, what do you call it, among the friends,
Yeah,
you were
but
a
that's-
Ghoti, you were
yeah,
a Bangal,
yeah,
but
that's,
I don't think there was any discrimination
but
whatsoever.
That probably you did as much as they did.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
nothing,
yes.
nothing more, nothing
No,
less.
no.
Have you ever thought that why, for example, in West Bengal, which is in a Hindu majority, but Muslims are minority, they are able to stay. But in Bangladesh, where Muslims are majority, Hindus are minority, your family couldn't stay, or Hindus couldn't stay.
Yeah, of course, we always think about that, why we had to leave. And to me, I don't know if it is the religion and all, but it's, I find that politicians or the religious leaders are more discriminating in the sense is that they don't want the other religion to stay in harmony.
Yeah. But then Muslims have been able to stay in West Bengal.
Yes, of course. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of friends in Park Circus, as you know.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Muslims in Park Circus, and I went to school with many Muslims.
Yeah. So they're
And-
able to stay.
Yeah, sure.
But you are not able to stay in
Of course.
So-
of course, we couldn't.
So do you think Muslims and Hindus live together?
Philosophically, why not? I mean, we belong to the same, not religion, same culture.
Same-
We
same
speak the
blood.
same language, and I see nowadays I see Bangladesh TV, and they play Rabindra Sangeet, and there are very good dramas and all. So I really don't see why we cannot live together.
Okay, okay.
But that's the fact of life. We
But
don't.
but things hasn't happened for you at least.
Right. It did.
Has anybody benefited because of partition of Bengal? Because Bengal was partitioned, that's why we see this contradiction.
Right.
Did anybody benefit?
I would say the politicians, the Pakistani politicians, Pakistani or Bangladeshi politicians, they got benefited. They
West
got
Bengali politicians too?
I don't know. Did they?
I'm asking, I'm not going to answer.
Of course, they took advantage of this, and we heard a lot of stories about the refugees being discriminated against and all.
Yeah.
But I did not feel that. I got help from the government, as I say.
So your father also didn't go back to Bangladesh or East Pakistan or Bangladesh?
He
after?
always wanted to go and visit, but it didn't happen.
And you have not, or your children haven't gone back?
No. I still to this day, I really want to go and see my old house.
How was your Bikrampur village? Do you remember the village life in village?
Very little. What I remember, it was hot, and then there was a lot of playing field and this and that. We used to run around, and there was a kind of a pond or something. We used to go and take swim there and all. That's what I remember. It's all fond memories, very fond memories. Yes.
And what about Armanitola? Well, do you have fond memories of Armanitola?
Yes.
too?
Yeah, the neighborhoods were really good.
Were you in touch with the Muslim family?
Yes, as a matter of fact, as I said, our next our neighbor
Yeah.
was a Muslim,
So-
and also the another one just opposite, and they used to really Koka babu esho amader kache esho, and I used to go there, and that's,
No, so
I
after
did-
you come, were you in touch with them, or they
No,
after you migrated, that disconnected?
that's gone.
That's
That's
gone.
gone. Yeah, it's no.
I'm almost to the end. Can you? Is there anything else you want to add that I didn't ask?
No, I think you asked all the relevant questions, and I wish Bengal becomes Bengal again.
Yeah.
That's my wish.
As a child, you saw those terrible days
Yes.
where you saw women jumping from third floor. You were eating a langar, everybody together in one
Yes.
camp.
Right.
Has that affected your life?
Yeah, it's still. When I feel it still affects my life. I still remember. I saw a woman jumping from the veranda. And shouting and all, and it's still. Why? Why it had to be like
Do you
that?
ever share that with your family?
Yes, I did. Yes, my mother still, is living, and she's remembers those.
She's here in the United States?
Yes, no, she came here for a visit.
Okay.
But she is in Calcutta.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.